13 seconds, that's all it took to erase 10 years of dominance. Jose Aldo, undefeated for a decade, the most feared featherweight on earth, flat on his back, unconscious, while Conor McGregor celebrated over his body. But Aldo wasn't alone. Tonight, you're about to witness the most brutal championship downfalls in UFC history. Legends who didn't just lose their belts, they lost their souls. In MMA, there are losses, and then there are destructions so complete, so devastating, that they rewrite history. These aren't just defeats. These are public executions of legacies. Champions who walked into the octagon as gods and crawled out as broken mortals. Some never recovered, some never fought again. And one became the most tragic fall from grace the sport has ever seen. November 14th, 2015, Melbourne, Australia. Ronda Rousey wasn't just a champion, she was a cultural phenomenon, undefeated, unstoppable, finishing fights in seconds with her signature armbar. She destroyed Miesha Tate twice, ended Betha Correia in 34 seconds, made grown women tap out from fear. The media called her invincible. She started believing her own hype. Then came Holly Holm, a boxer nobody gave a chance to. From the opening bell, something was wrong. Holm circled away from Rousey's power, landed clean jabs, stuffed every takedown attempt. By round 2, you could see the panic in Rousey's eyes, the realization that her usual game plan wasn't working. Then it happened. Holly Holm threw a head kick that connected flush. Rousey collapsed like a demolished building. The sound was sickening. The silence that followed was deafening. The most dominant female fighter in history was unconscious on the canvas, and the entire world watched her aura die in real time. Rousey never fully recovered. She fought once more, got destroyed again, and disappeared from the sport forever. One kick didn't just end her reign, it ended her entire identity. July 6, 2013, Las Vegas, Nevada. Anderson Silva was called the Matrix. For 7 years, he made world-class fighters look like amateurs. He fought with his hands down, dodged punches like Neo dodging bullets, and finished opponents with strikes they never saw coming. 16 straight wins in the UFC, the longest title reign in company history. But at UFC 162, Silva's arrogance reached dangerous levels. Chris Weidman was supposed to be another victim, young, unproven, overwhelmed by the moment. Instead, Weidman refused to be intimidated. When Silva dropped his hands and started taunting, the same move that had broken countless opponents, Weidman saw opportunity. One left hook, clean, perfectly timed. Anderson Silva, the greatest striker in MMA history, crumpled to the canvas like his strings had been cut. The arena fell silent. 7 years of dominance ended by the same arrogance that built it. Silva tried to come back, but the magic was gone. He'd proven he was human, and in the UFC, once you show mortality, the vultures circle. December 12, 2015, Las Vegas, Nevada. Jose Aldo hadn't lost a fight in 10 years. King of the featherweight division. Lightning-fast hands, perfect technique, unbreakable will. Conor McGregor had spent months getting inside his head with trash talk and mind games. But Aldo was a veteran. He'd seen it all. The fight started. Aldo rushed forward looking to silence McGregor early. He threw a left hook. McGregor countered with his own left hand. 13 seconds later, it was over. Jose Aldo, undefeated for a decade, the most technical striker in the division, was unconscious on the canvas. The fastest finish in UFC title fight history. 10 years of perfection erased in one exchange. The worst part, Aldo never got his immediate rematch. McGregor moved up in weight, and Aldo was left to rebuild his legacy from the ashes of that single moment. June 4, 2016, Manchester, England. Luke Rockhold had just destroyed Chris Weidman to win the middleweight title. Tall, athletic, technical, he looked like the future of the division. His opponent was Michael Bisping, a short-notice replacement, a guy Rockhold had already beaten decisively. The betting odds were laughable. This was supposed to be a tune-up fight. Rockhold barely trained. He spent the week doing media appearances instead of preparing for war. Big mistake. From the opening bell, Bisping looked different. Sharper, more aggressive. He was landing clean shots while Rockhold looked sluggish. Then in the first round, it happened. Bisping threw a left hook that caught Rockhold flush on the chin. The champion went down hard. Bisping swarmed and finished him seconds later. Luke Rockhold had lost his title to a man he'd already beaten in a fight he was supposed to win easily. The humiliation was complete. Overconfidence had cost him everything. But the most heartbreaking downfall belongs to Penn. The prodigy, two-division champion, one of the most naturally gifted fighters in UFC history. By the time he fought Frankie Edgar for the third time, Penn was a shadow of himself. Slow, awkward, fighting on pure heart with nothing left in the tank. Edgar dominated him for 3 rounds before the referee mercifully stopped the fight. The sight of Penn, a legend of the sport, unable to defend himself, became one of the most tragic images in MMA history. It wasn't just a loss, it was watching greatness die in real time. But sometimes the most devastating falls happen to fighters who aren't even champions yet. Chuck Liddell was the face of the UFC, the Iceman, the guy who brought mixed martial arts into the mainstream with his knockout power and rock star persona. For years, he was untouchable, knocking out legends left and right. The light heavyweight division was his playground. Then age caught up with him. UFC 115, June 12, 2010, Chuck Liddell versus Rich Franklin. 2 legends past their prime, but everyone expected Liddell to have enough left in the tank. Instead, Franklin landed a clean right hand in the first round that sent Liddell crashing to the canvas, unconscious before he hit the ground. The sight of Chuck Liddell, the man who had knocked out Tito Ortiz twice, who had been the baddest man on the planet, lying motionless on the canvas, was heartbreaking. Dana White immediately retired him after the fight. No ceremony, no farewell tour, just a cold, brutal reality check. The Iceman had melted, and there was no coming back. But the cruelest irony? Years later, Liddell came back anyway. At 48 years old, he fought Tito Ortiz in a boxing ring and got knocked out again. Some fighters don't know when to walk away, and the sport has a way of reminding them that Father Time is undefeated. Chuck Liddell's fall proved that in the UFC, even legends aren't immune to the passage of time. And sometimes the most painful defeats are the ones that show us our heroes are mortal after all. These moments remind us why the UFC is the most unforgiving sport on earth. Ronda Rousey, Anderson Silva, Jose Aldo, Luke Rockhold, Pennsylvania, all champions, all legends, all humiliated when the game finally caught up. In the octagon, there are no participation trophies, no moral victories, no gentle exits. There's only the fight. And sometimes the fight wins. Which downfall shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more brutal UFC moments that change everything, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Because in this sport, legends fall every single night. Don't just watch the fights, understand them. Hit that button and subscribe to Fight Caviar today.